Welcome back. We are in the lobby for Cure versus herO. And you can hear the countdown to prove it. Thank everyone for watching. There's a lot of good Korean StarCraft happening. Again, remind you that this is supported purely by you guys, the Patreons, at patreon.com/Olimoleague. And if you're looking to support, how do I support? What do I do? I mean, you can watch, you can sub to us, you can cheer, you can donate. You can also donate to the Patreon on a weekly basis to help grow this lovely tournament that's been going on for 3 years. Pretty baller stuff. Let's change the scene, though, and get into another best-of-3 semifinal. In the bottom left, as the yellow Terran, he is Cure. In the top right, as the blue Protoss, it is herO. And just to clarify, it is the ex-CJ herO, current Root herO. Ex-Team Liquid herO doesn't play in very much. It was shocking to see him play in the DreamHack Atlanta, Road to DreamHack Atlanta finals. So that was the once-off, but every other time it has been Root herO playing. Alright, so Probe is always a dangerous thing to see coming out from herO. It truly is that Probe in the cinematic. The Carbot cinematic, though, where it puts its glasses on and says, deal with it. Because herO is one cheesy guy, and Defender's Landing is almost just too tempting to. But this game, not going to go for it. Goes for a Gateway Expand, no double gas. It's something that Cure is eventually going to see with his own SCV, as I think SCV scouting is going to be the safer path against this guy. You know. So let's deal with the shenanigans that is the Probe block. How annoying. SCV sees normal stuff. It's usually never normal for long, however. Even if herO does go for a macro game, sometimes he throws in, like, you know, disruptor drops, which aren't too common. Although we did see from Mana as well in the European Cup we cast yesterday. And also has a couple different styles up his sleeve. But if he does play a macro game, herO is certainly a very good macro player. Some really good game sense, too, with his Blink Stalkers, if that's the way that it goes. We see Robo planted down first and foremost, though. Probe scouts again, trying to get into that main base. Denied, hardcore, but puts on a pylon anyway because, damn, that's just the way that he goes. It's the way that he play. Probe is killed. Pylon still needs to be a threat taken seriously, even if it is a later pylon. Marine's gonna pop out, but will that be in time? The Mothership Core is almost already here. She's gonna get one overcharge, at least. Gets the Reaper, gonna get the supply depot. I'm not sure it can get the oh no, it's gonna retarget the reactor, I was gonna say. I wasn't sure it would get both, is the point, and targeting the reactor first is the better move. The Cyclone here and the pylon a little bit weak. Is it really worth doing another overcharge? No, it's not. Plus, it was a little bit late, only just now having 50 energy, so the choice wasn't there anyway. And hero's gonna have to leave. A little bit of harassment on the front lines, doesn't cost him too much though, and it's just some, you know, macro on the backside. Two adepts kind of gatekeeping, I guess. And actually, maybe get into the main base. Cyclone on top of them on the natural means that the main base might have been free. Just kidding, no, there's a Cyclone there. I'm sure that's not what herO was hoping to see, hoping to find. It's an okay scout, but honestly, at, you know, 2 bases, what are you really going to scout from a Terran player? There are still builds, of course. 1-1-1, 2-1-1. 2-on-1 was the choice of Cure, and that is something that herO now knows to be wary of the timing. Usually around 5 minutes, but this build was not, you know, completely perfect 2-on-1. It was a bit lopsided, had to deal with the pylon, you know, going with a double reactor, not the double medevacs, all that jazz. So it's not 5 minutes, it's 6 minutes. But herO is going to have Blink by then. He has a Warp Prism, and he might even be looking to be aggressive first. It's always a dangerous thing to do against Stim, though. Thank you to Mal Damaja for the 6-month resub. Oh, he finds the medevac. No way. Oh, very nicely done. There's an observer over here that Cure flew past. Not quite gonna lose it. Just kidding. Lost it. Gotta wait for that blink on cooldown. Dark Shrine follows us up on 2 base. Now going down to the 3rd. And the Warp Prism has warped in a couple of adepts here. This is, I mean, okay, Kudo's taking out that medevac with the Widow Mines. Really awesome stuff, but it is still bio with Stim with a medevac. Combat Shield should be starting soon enough. And I don't think Stalkers can really take it on, but they can certainly distract and harass and open up opportunities to kill SCVs. Love the missile turret placements. Really going to help out against this type of harassment. And also going to help out against those ETs that will be on the way. Blink Stalkers go into the main, however, looking for some important add-ons. Would have loved to have found a tech lab researching, finds a reactor. Is not going to quite get it. Instant pulling the SCs from Cure. A lot of the times I will say that you will just find the Terran player assume they're going to lose it and not pull the SCVs, only to have it burn down after 5 seconds. So I liked that pull a lot. Now we have Combat Shield starting. herO, doing shenanigans with Blink and Warp Prism, is on his way now to charge, a little bit beefier. Unfortunately, it looks like the Adepts go down, but the Warp Prism lives. Where are you? Ah, did the switcheroo. They did the switcheroo on me, even. The DT is dropped off. He knows the missile turret in the natural base. Does he know about the one in the main? Yeah, he does. So, just going for the add-ons. He wants to at least force a scan. Scan goes over here. Okay, whatever. Reactor goes down. The turret has to be built. Just caught at a very awkward time of having no scans. He's gonna lose 2 reactors. This is some good damage from a single DT. And it's also just, you know, keep in mind, this is usually a point at which the Terran player is the one that's really ramping up here. They've done a stim drop, they're getting combat shields, so they're getting ready to push and really threaten the 3rd base. Instead, Cure is just the one constantly at home, having his build order messed up by having to build so many missile turrets, by having to run around, having his reactors killed. And herO, he didn't start off with a very strong economic game, obviously, with all the harassment, but he is the one with the 3rd base, building the probes, chronoing them out, and getting to a better army with the armor upgrades. Real? Real. Alright, well, that 1 DT was pretty baller. 2nd DT, okay. 3rd DT, looks like it's gonna force another scan. You know, if he didn't reveal itself... No, never mind, he's gonna respond to it. I was gonna say, if he didn't reveal himself, the army might be out of position. Because herO was looking to attack, but it doesn't matter if he's in position or out of position. herO just thinks he can take the fight. He has 3 Immortals, so many charge lots, and a Guardian Shield, a couple Guardian Shields to boot. The charge lots do disappear, however, without that fodder, it's a little more questionable for herO's army. But so many Stalkers means that this command center could just be sniped. He doesn't want to lose the Immortals, leave those alone, though. Warp Prism still alive, gonna warp in more charge lots. The army, luckily it has a lot of medevacs to help it through all of these stims, but it might not be enough. The command center is in fact gonna go down. He chooses to target that rather than try and save the Warp Prism. I think that was the right call. Gonna get the Vikings at the end anyway. Here scans the 3rd base. I think he already knew that was there, but now just scanning to see what the saturation is like, I guess. I'm gonna desperately go for a Widow Mine drop. That's one thing he does have, is a good number of medevacs. Okay, or liftoff. The Widow Mine is going to go for its own drop, man. I don't need no medevac to help it. And 12 SCVs also went down in that fight. Cure in a very bad spot here. herO going for a 4th. And he's looking so good in this game. He's going to have +2 armor on his zealots for the next attack. As I said in the beginning of the cast, it is in fact Root's herO, XCJ a herO. I think that is the safe assumption 99% of the time. The Road to DreamHack thing was just a shocker to see. Liquid herO. Well, the game, quite over in general, is not quite at the tap-out point yet for Cure. He's thinking he's got a pretty good shot with an army. He's already invested in the 2-2, so might as well let that ride out. But obviously no third CC is being replaced. If he could get to a decent-sized army, if he could take a decent fight, then he could just lift his command center in the main and still be, like, kind of okay, but obviously not really. His army is pretty well-rounded by herO. I would say that it needs a couple more zealots, though, and also the zealots on the front lines. You know, once the zealots are broken, the stalkers don't last very long, and the immortals, if they're focus fired, do go down too. And they're an important addition. So he's continuing to make those from his robo, not going over into Colossus, but rather into Storm and Archons. 2-2 will be a factor, it looks like, for Cure, who is lifting his main, as I said. He's not willing to give up on this game as long as he has an army. Got him, guys. I finally got the mosquito. This bastard has been chewing on me for 2 days. Fuck you, little guy. Okay, well that celebration aside, we do have a command center attempting to lift. I thought I was going to go over here, and he probably should have, because now he just loses it. And he maybe was thinking about going for the base here, but decides to pull back. He's got Liberties, he's got Widow Mines, but if they're on the front lines, he can't just let them be lost without sieging up first. He does lose one of the Liberators. The Widow Mines end up sieging up. So many Zealots on the front lines get obliterated, but I think there might just be too much herO. He's got a DT doing work in the back, too, as well as an Immortal, and it is too much herO. This is going to be game. herO just, I don't know, keeping Cure, a really good Terran player, on his heels the entire time. Excellent play. That's why I like watching herO so much. And be right back. Okay. I need to get rid of the body, guys. I'm so glad I got the mosquito, though. Like, the mosquitoes in Korea are, like, a bit smaller than in America, so sometimes they look like specks of dust, or just like a regular fly. But this guy landed right next to me, and I saw that mosquito, and I was like, I got you now. Thank you to Pandemonium 1984 for the 29-month resub. And a lot of long timers. Did I miss anyone else during these games? Let's see here. No. Got him. I've been nailing it. When is the next WCS? Well, I actually said WSC, which is just way too confusing. It's in like a couple days, man. Okay, game number 2, Proxima Station, Cure's map choice. He's probably thinking about taking a bit more control back in the game as that last game. It just never feels very good to be the one that's constantly being pressured. You know, there's really very little room to breathe, and honestly, Terran just aren't really used to being the ones constantly pressured. You know, a warp prism, sure, that keeps you back because it's so threatening with an adept warp in. But that's not the same like level as to what herO was doing, because he was attacking not only with the warp prism, but also with the stalkers, also with the pylon attack at the front, and also with the DTs following things up. Like, it was constant and it was different every time. So herO had to respond in a variety of ways that he just could not keep up with quite enough. But it's game number 2, and maybe herO has a better understanding of how those things are going to go down. Of course, these guys play each other all the time on ladder, but it can always be a bring yourself back to reality type deal after playing against a couple other opponents. In the top right, he is the blue Protoss, herO. Goes for not just a very early scout, but a second probe is even being sent out, so definitely some shenanigans. There's a second gas. In the bottom left, as the red Terran, it is herO. You guys are asking, where is Rifkin? Rifkin's internet was not working, so he messaged me for the cast and said that it was too unstable. Even if he could get it to work, there's a very, very high chance it was gonna lag out and bother the players and all that jazz. So he just left me to it. I had my own troubles with the stream, but managed to fix it, and now I know what the problem is in the future. Damn Twitch. But there is that proxy. Great mosquito APM. Thank you very much. It's like I was managed to get one mosquito in my room on the first day, but I got it. I slapped that sucker down. And then I had a month and a half where I was perfectly fine despite everyone else complaining. And then one got in and I could not find it, and it gave me like 10 bites on my legs, guys. It is the worst. And these, I don't know what it is. Either I react differently than I used to, because honestly I don't get bit by mosquitoes very much anymore. Not like, outside all the time, like I used to be. Or it's Korean mosquitoes, but they leave the darkest, reddest welts, man. Like, God, legs look really bad. Anyways, much more important happening in this game, mosquitoes and stuff. There's gonna be an Oracle. There's a gold base taken too. That's kind of crazy, but he has done it before. And there is the photon arbiters being set up with that pylon. herO, he's trying to get the initial step to deal with this. Absolutely, build as many Marines as possible. Absolutely, get a cyclone from the factory. But it still sometimes isn't enough. herO is going to be pulling him every which way. Thank you so much to He Hate Me for the 500 bits. Keep up the great casting. Thank you very much. And Gilgo for the 17-month resub. The Oracle was going to try, I don't know how to survive. Was he going to try and save the photon overcharge? No, there wasn't even a mothership on the way. That was a bait to try and get the units focus firing on something else, so the Oracle could kill them, I guess. But I don't know, the Cyclone there, that was always going to be a little bit questionable. So that did not really work out, but luckily the Oracle survived, so pairing up with the second one, always a danger. herO taking this very, very seriously, though. He knows the danger of an aggressive proxying Protoss and goes for a missile turret, so that is going to save the Cyclone's life, along with the repair. Very nicely done. Unfortunately goes in the main base and does lose that second Oracle. 4 SCVs have gone down, but that's not very impressive. herO transfers his probes, which, this is not just crazy because it's usually your 4th. It's crazy because it's usually a 4th after you break down these rocks. So it's just like really quite out there to get this base secure. But, if things were going absolutely ideally for herO, Cure is just being threatened still by these Oracles. Having dealt with them so well, though, I don't think he's really threatened anymore. And that's why we see a medevac, not a Viking, and Widowmine's probably going to enter into that medevac and then go across the map, because Cure is not as beaten down as he was in the last game. He does not know about the gold base, but his medevac might still fly over it. We'll see where he tries to do the Widow Mine drop. 4 more SCVs go down to the 3rd Oracle, so 8 in total. We got Blink on the way, Stalker's being produced, Gateway's finalizing. He will have some defense against an attack. Yeah, it did not do any damage. But this one might... Okay, gets 4 probes in total. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Phoenixes have also been produced from Phoenix. Has been produced from the Stargate to help lift need be, but not really with the most consistent detection. Has to wait for the Oracles. There you go. And that just takes a lot of pressure off of Cure's back, truly. To have the Oracles waste the energy there instead of on his army and on his SCVs. I know some people have gotten mosquito nets for their beds, but I feel like that's for a much bigger problem than the one I have. It'd feel really lame to have one mosquito literally make it so the bed is the only safe place in my room. When my room is, you know, not very big in the first place. Attack of the fronts. So Blink is almost done. We'll be able to trade out a little bit with these units, but the bio is being healed quite well by the medevacs. They do not have combat shields, they do not have sim, just barely don't have +1. So the trade is worth it as long as herO manages to save every single stalker. He's only lost 1 so far. Cure obviously knows about the gold base now. Does not have any more scouting to see if there's a 3rd being taken, which there is. Supply depots have gone down, successfully supply blocking Cure. And he is probably just like shaking his head right now. Like, can't believe regular Blink Stalkers are giving me this much trouble, but they are. An Adept tries to shade past, but a Cyclone is on its tail, so it doesn't get anything at all. Sim is 30 seconds from finishing. Once it is, herO will have to run back, but that's what the stasis trap is for, and that is awesome. It's a very good idea. Mothership Core finally being made. Almost 8 minutes into the game. Charge, +1 armor. Beefing up that army with a couple of sentries too. Getting ready for the long game. The fact that Cure again has been beaten back to the point of not feeling comfortable to push out is a problem. That he has not thought about his 3rd is also a problem. Kind of being forced into a 2-base all-in scenario. Like he was last game. Last game he got the 3rd though, just died. There's the stasis trap. He realized it, you know, as soon as possible. So only 5 Marines are trapped. He doesn't really know how much more beyond that there are, and there is 1 more. This Widow Mine drop could maybe get some damage done on the main base. We'll kind of get back to that later. He is pretty scared. Sim's a scary thing. Still no combat shields means the Marines are very tempting to take out the Blink Stalkers, though. 3rd base is not the target of this drop, although he did see a pylon. That's it. The main is, and at one point was very oversaturated. A little less so now, but is herO paying attention? He is. He got to pull the probe back. Loses 2. Open in that cannon. The 3rd is now where to go as he realizes it's over here. Not the best drop ever, but I think yet again we gotta mention that herO doesn't have easy detection. So he's gotta wait for a cannon, which kinda sucks. This army of Cure is strong, just like last game. But herO has managed to buy a lot of time and continue buying time with the stasis wards. That was really weird. He just stood there. I thought he wasn't a stasis ward, but okay. Triggers the last one, but there is an entire other army, guys, waiting behind here. It's got Guardian Shields, it's got Archons, it's got Charge, and it does have 1-1 at the very least. The Liberators are going to pose a problem, but there's still plenty of Stalkers trying to take that on. herO looking for the concave is going to go in here. Guardian Shields are popped. Oracle even getting a bit of the damage done. Phoenix coming back too. Widow Mines are going to splash off with the Medivacs, not the Liberators. The Liberators are still going to be taken out. Whoop the daisy. The charge lots went mostly to the north, but the Stalkers are plentiful enough to take out the remaining Marauders, Liberators, Medivacs. Everything goes down. And that's going to be it for Cure. Okay, those Widow Mines almost got a beautiful shot. GG. herO just playing that style of Protoss that I guarantee you guys won't be able to replicate. It's so many times if you mess up the micro or you don't have the presence of mind to have that good macro back at home too, you're just gonna lose all your stalkers. You're gonna not have charge in time. You're not, you know, it's gonna be bad. But herO controlling the game like a puppet master takes it 2-0 and advance on to face Gumiho. That's going to be a best of 5 starting on Odyssey. But as usual, first, a break. See you soon.